This morning on Today's Health, an early start to allergy season. You may be enjoying this mild winter, but it's not good news for the approximately 40 million Americans who suffer from allergies. So what should you do? Well, Dr. Keri Peterson is an internist and contributor to Women's Health magazine. Dr. Peterson, good to see you.
Good morning.
So, I mean, already people are complaining about their allergies. It seems like it's come early this year. How come?
We've had such an unseasonably warm winter this year. Did you know this is the fourth warmest winter on record in this country?
Of course I knew that.
Unbelievable. In January, the average temperatures are usually in the like 30.6 range, but this year they were 6 degrees higher.
And why is that a problem?
Degrees. So what happens is that the trees pollinate earlier, and as a result, the pollen counts are higher. So just to give you some numbers, last February, the first week in February, pollen counts were in single digits. This year, pollen counts were from the 80s to as high as 250.
Wow.
Big difference.
No, if it starts early, does that mean it ends early?
No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't. The trees are pollinating earlier, which accounts for the early spring allergy season. However, the grasses, they start to sprout later in the spring, so it'll continue on well into summer.
So who's at risk for these allergies?
Anybody and everybody. You can develop allergies in adulthood, and allergies really are predominantly based on genetics. If a child has one parent who has allergies, their risk is 30%. If a child has both parents with allergies, their risk goes up to 70%.
Wow. Now, how do you tell this time of year, especially when you're suffering from allergies or just a cold?
I know it can be tough because the symptoms do overlap, and for first-time allergy sufferers who have the stuffy nose and the sore throat, they may not know. But with a cold, you can get fever and aches. You'll never get that with allergies. Colds rarely last longer than 2 weeks, whereas allergies can. And if you have itchy, watery eyes, that is a telltale sign of an allergy.
Okay, so what are some of the things you can do? There are some easy fixes, right?
Yeah, there's some great tips we have at Women's Health. First off, for some tips, don't garden outdoors if you're prone to allergies. It's just going to stir up all the allergens. And wear sunglasses. That keeps the pollen out of your eyes. Now, once you get inside, those allergens are stuck on your hair. They're stuck on your clothes. So change your clothes before you sit on your couch or on your bedding, because it's going to transfer the pollens, and consider showering just to get it off your skin and your hair. And
a lot of us, you know, it's the springtime, we like to open up the windows.
We do, yes, we do, because it gives fresh air. However, that's going to let the pollen right in, so close those windows. And if you like to exercise outside, wait till later in the day. Early in the morning, the pollen counts are much higher. And consider getting an air filter.
Like with the HEPA filters?
That's right.
And then what about, you know, if you've got these allergies and you've tried some of these remedies, it's not working, you should probably go see an allergist, right?
You can. Well, the first thing to do is to try over-the-counter medications, antihistamines or decongestants, and consider taking them the night before so that they kick in by morning. But if these don't work, then consider seeing an allergist. And in that case, they can give you a nasal steroid spray that helps reduce inflammation. They can even determine what you're allergic to by doing skin testing or blood testing, which gives a reaction on the skin if you have an allergy. And for a more permanent solution, you can consider allergy shots. These take about 3 to 5 years to develop a tolerance to the allergen, but they are long-lasting.
Well, all right, Dr. Keri Peterson. What about that neti pot thing?
I love that. I'm a fan. That just rinses and flushes out all the allergens from your nose.
And then you make soup. Okay, Dr. Keri Peterson, thank you. Just kidding. Coming up, they're in hair.